Hello and welcome in this video, which will show you how to customize a structure that you load directly in V3 Digitime's Buildings and Skyscrapers generator, or that you create using the generators including. Here we start with the building that we used in the previous video that we obtained using the generators. First, we can zero the morphs used on the windows. So in the scene type, I select the 4 windows. Okay, I can select them using the surface selection tool, which is a very cool tool when you have a lot of instances, because when you pick up, for instance, this instance, okay, this is an instance, well, it will return you the target of the instance in the scene tab. So this is really cool to select everything, you know. Okay, and this way I have all my windows. I forgot one. I can select this way more easily the target of the instances. It's easier than trying to guess where they are in the building. So I select them all. I go in the shaping tab, select them all once again, and go on 0 selected items shape. Okay, now they are 0 shaped, and now I can begin to shape them. For instance, I want the borders, the black metal borders, to completely or disappear the maximum they can. So I work on the border height and width. So the top 8 here is minimum, the bottom 8 is minimum, the left width is minimum. You see this on the render. Of course, since I record the video in the same time, it's a little bit heavy for my old video card. Okay, so this is the minimum of metal you can have in the building. You see it here, you guess it here. Here you almost don't see it anymore. Okay, and here I don't like the pillars, so I select one pillar and I go in the pillar properties adjustment, and I want my pillars to be less thick than they presently are. Okay, they can go really thick, okay, but you can really reduce their size a lot too. Okay, so for this instance, this is an example of how to have a glass building, okay, and with not a lot of metal. I also can morph the roof border, okay, for something less thick and less high. Okay, to have a minimum of material on the building. So this is globally what you can do playing with morphs. What is cool is that the lights that you see here are the lights of the ceiling and the clouds, and the ground that you see reflected is the environment map. It could be the environment, the surrounding buildings. I mean, this glass has been developed so that you just like in real buildings, you see a lot of reflections, but you see also what's happening inside the building, but not too much, because most of the time you will leave the building empty, so you have to guess what's in the building. So that's the compromise I managed to reach with the glass shaders provided. Just one little tip: if you don't want to see the building entrance, it's really easy. You just have to select the building entrance, okay, and go in parameters and turn the building the other way around, okay, so that the back of the building becomes the front of the building. And I'm gonna frame up, okay, and you can use the frame tool to put the building back in the frame of here it's V3D building camera, but it would be any camera of your scene. Okay, so this was the little tip for the to hide the entrance node if you don't want to see it, or you can keep it if you want. Okay, let's go and have a look, for instance, at morphs, knowing that morphs is not the main way to customize the building. Okay, it's one of the ways to customize it. Let's take Windows 1 only, because Windows 1 is the ground floor, and on the ground floor I want a bottom wall, okay, and I want to move it front. Okay, it's not back, so back is in the right direction, but here I want to move it front, okay, and I don't like this shader, so I'm going to select it. Okay, I'm gonna check that it's the right surface, Windows 1 bottom wall, okay. And in the content library, I'm going to load another shader, for instance, this one. I'm gonna lower a bit the tile. Okay, and I have, oh, I lowered it too much. So I'm going just to increase a bit the tile again. All right. So it's down for the ground floor. Oh, it's down. I mean, we could shape much more. For all the other windows, I want to add via the shaping tab some horizontal and vertical splitters. Okay. For instance, so you have here your splitters. 100%. They are not centered. Some are centered, some are not. You see, it depends on what you choose to put at 100%. And here I'm going to change the shader used by these splitters. Okay, this allows me to show you a script. So this is the Smart Multi-Surfaces selection tool. You need to select any of the window, nothing else in the building, okay? And you double click this, and then here you write split, because the names of the surfaces for the splitters use split in their names. You click on select surfaces, okay? It finds the 4 windows, and in the surfaces, they are all selected. All the splitters are selected, okay? You can be more restrictive if you write more characters, but that's not what I need right now. I go in shaders, and I want them to be black, this way, and all my splitters become black, okay? And you can use any metal shader that you would own with other content, I mean, from other artists. It's a shader, you can apply it wherever you want, okay? So here are the provided shaders, but you can use much more shaders than only these ones. All right, so that was for the selection. And let's say that we are going to customize the central windows. Oh no, the last floor. Let's just customize, because I don't want this to be too long. Let's just customize the last floor differently from the rest. So for this last floor in the shaping tab, I'm going to change, for instance, I can close, yeah, the last floor. This way it becomes something completely full, okay? Oh, sorry, I undo this, okay? This is a way to close completely your floor, just to play with the border top 8 and border bottom 8. I just maybe want something a bit thicker for the last floor. Okay. Okay, the bottom 8 is bigger. Okay, this will distinguish the last floor from the other floors. So it starts below the border. This is why you don't see immediately the morph appearing. And let's have a look at the Windows 3. I'd like them to go a bit, I'd like the border to go a bit out of the structure. So I'm going to change the border thick thin. Okay. You see here, I push it away. I could do the same with Windows 2 anyway. I can select several windows at the same time. And this way you customize. And I could do the same with Windows 1. I think it would be more cool. Yeah, and this is a way to customize building using morphs. But morphs is not the core of customizing the buildings. What's interesting are the smart props. So, and if I want to reset everything, oh yeah, you can go by the zero shape function, but you can also use the properties, okay, included. and say up, reset the shape, and you come back to the initial shape. Okay. So for the smart props, what you have to understand is whatever you will parent to Windows 1 or Windows 2, Windows 3 or 4, whatever you will parent to this, it will be parented to all the instances of the instance group, or all these instances. So, for instance, I'm going to take a new, I don't know, new primitive. I'm going to take a cube, 1 meter cube. Okay. Let's have a look at the cube. I'm going to try with the perspective view. I'm going to switch to this mode because it's going to be faster since I'm recording. Okay, this cube I'm going to put in front of Windows 1 or inside the building, just a little backwards. I scale it vertically. Okay. And now I parent it to the windows. And you see you have a cube or a character or a furniture or whatever you want behind every windows of the instance group. Okay, that's very easy, and that's the way the smart props work. So in order to load the smart props, you have to select the window to which you want to apply these smart props. So for instance, I want to apply a front wall with a frame for the window, with a structure for the window. So I select the Windows 1. Well, I don't want to make it to Windows 1, but to Windows 2 and all these instances. So I do this and poof, this is loaded. This is very easy. I'm gonna do for Windows 3, I'm gonna use this, okay, with some balconies, for instance. And for the last floor, I'm gonna use round balconies, why not? And for the base ground, okay, so Windows 1, I am gonna use this. So this is not the same material, never mind. Okay, let's go and copy selected surfaces and pass to selected surfaces, or apply the shader. Okay, apply the shader included in the content library. So the shader, which is probably one of this one, probably this one. All right, and here for this Windows 1, which is too high, I think, I also want to apply a top prop. So let's go in the smart props. Let's find the top, okay, the top windows, and let's do again pass to selected surfaces for this one. Pass to selected surfaces or apply a shader. And this one I want to shape it, shaping. I want the bottom higher, that's it. Okay, and I'm going to shape this one with the bottom. No, that's not good. The top lower. Okay, and I don't like the fact that I see here the metal border. So either I use one of the shaders to turn it into something else than metal and adjust the tile eventually. Okay. And eventually also morph the window so that it goes more towards us. So border thick thin, okay, thicker, and yeah, there's also front back, front thicker and more front. Okay, so this is a way to compensate this. Or and then in this case, when you begin to add smart props, you probably have to adjust the pillars. So this is also very easy. You select one of the pillars easier with the smart selection, with the surface selection tool. You select all the pillars. Okay. Come on. Okay. You scale them. So it's an adjustment of the lateral size and also an adjustment of the tile of the shader apply to the to the pillars, so that you can you keep the same aspect ratio. So if I don't know, thicker or not. Let's have a look at from far what it gives. Well, let's keep thick pillars, okay, and pick up a shader. Shader. Why not this one? Okay, which is a bit different. You can, of course, adjust the tile if you want to. Let's have a look at the ceiling border. So it's hard to select it because I reduced this size. The roof border, I reduced its size just a bit before. So I want the top. Oh, come on. The top must be higher. I want it thicker. Okay. Oh yeah, that's all. And I'm going to apply also this shader. Content library. Do I have all my surfaces? Yes. Yeah, I have 2 tiles because I have it's scaled into 2 directions to fit the building. So this is why I have 2 tiles. Okay, and this way you customize the building. Okay. What? If you don't want this element, okay, you can for instance you can simply shaders. Now surfaces. Okay, you can take the balcony and go in opacity and remove up the opacity of it. So you will have high, very long windows in size. Sorry, and balcony metal, same thing. Okay, so this makes long windows. Okay, because you hide the balcony. Okay, same thing if you don't like this balcony. Up opacity, and you have higher windows. And here you see, okay, here all the windows have a structure here with splitters, vertical and horizontal. So for the ground floor you don't have one. If you want to have one, you can Dropbox, sorry. Yes, you know my Dropbox is full. Now everybody knows. You can load the splitter smart prop, okay, horizontally and vertically. Where is the vertical one? Horizontal splitter, vertical splitter. It's the last one. So okay, and let's have a look at those splitters. I am inside the building. Sorry. Hello. Okay. Now I'm outside. So now if I take a splitter, I can scale it. Okay, not in the right direction, but in the X and Z direction to have something bigger if I want. It's in the Y direction, this one. If I want to have something bigger, okay, and then I just have to adjust the tile if I want to, using the tools providing with the shader to go faster, to adjust the tile very rapidly. And this is, this is a classical building. I mean, okay, you can you can completely change the shaders using any of these shaders, and you can change also the entrance door. Okay, for something completely pretty white wood or something like that. Well, there's a lot of things that you can do. And here it is what it gives when you render it. Okay, you have all the reflections. Here we don't see a lot what's inside. So we could change the balance of reflections versus transmission. You have this in the shaders. Okay, you have those glass shaders, you see, which allow you to see more or less through glass. Here we guess the cubes inside, okay, but we don't see them clearly. Sorry, so we could select the glass and apply a less reflective and more refractive glass. You see here, you see the object through. This is the way to see how much reflective they are. This is purely reflective. All right, come on, and this is highly refractive, meaning the light goes through. Well, and if you don't like this building, let's save this anyway. And if you don't like this building, you can change completely the look in a few clicks. To customize this building, you simply have to select all the smart props, okay? They are directly parented to the windows, okay? Hop, let's remove this, smart prop. Let's remove these ones, okay? This is not, this different look is not linked to a smart prop, but to some properties. So let's reset the properties. So we have a almost zero building, okay? And we can use other smart props and other morphs, okay? This is very easily set to 0. So what could we use as smart prop? Oh, this one is funny. I thought about people who want to make prisons. Okay, Windows 2, Windows 3, Windows 4. No, Windows 4 is already done. Windows 1 is not done. Okay. And we have to hide the glass. So, okay. Because it's not that reflective normally. Well, let's say we hide the glass and we have some kind of prison. Okay, seen from very far. Let's have a bit closer look. So you have the, I don't know the English name for this. Okay, this was the prison style. Okay, and so it was not the ID. Initially the ID was, let's add this. Sorry, to Windows 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's use a vertical bar, an horizontal bar. Which one? Yeah, this one maybe. Up, 2, 3. In general, I tend to use one window for the base ground floor, and one window for the rest of the building, and one type of the window for the last floor. Okay. Eventually, the last one is not obligatory. This, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm not gonna remove it. I'm just gonna put cutout opacity to 0. And the pillars, I can scale them again. So in the main scripts, okay, I want them much smaller. Okay, with a shader metallic clear. Okay, and eventually I can change the color of the metal. I don't mind. Okay, and here you see there is no junction in the corner. So in general, you can do it using the pillars, but you can also do it using the scale of these props, because they are very robust to overlapping with each other and so on. So let's take Windows 3. I think it's the one with the, yeah, Windows 3 are all these ones, okay? And I'm going to select the horizontal bar, and I'm going to make the junctions by simply going in parameters, scale, and change the, let me think, X scale. Okay, and you see it's joining on the borders. Okay, let's take 13130, and so I can do the same for the others. 130, First the base ground 2, 130, and the last floor 130. Oh, okay, I scaled the last floor. That's not what I wanted exactly. I want to scale the horizontal bar. Okay, and this is fine. This is joined. Okay, and these left wall props, okay, which in general go on the left of a wall, I can push them back, okay, by pushing them on the let me think, z-axis. Okay. Less, it's in centimeters, 20 centimeters, yeah, for instance. Okay, 20 centimeters, and so that they are they are placed differently. Okay, you can move them, scale them, you can do really whatever you want with them. You have all the tools to adjust the shaders later on. Let's do this everywhere except on the last floor. Okay, this way you have very different buildings. You know, it's the same base structure but using the smart props differently. Okay, and here, for instance, what you don't like is that you see the black border. Ah, wait, oh, you see the black border? Never mind. Let's hide those black borders. You know, here just on the left and on the top of the brown borders. So let's go in the shaping, and you can hide them. Oh no, it would not be cool. You can't hide them, but you are going to make them disappear. And that no, that's not thick thin. Here, let's say a 0, height, using the border top height, bottom height, left width, right width. And the borders, the black borders, completely disappear. Well, that was examples. You can then move, you can add more smart props, you can move these smart props, you can scale these smart props, you can reshade them. I think you understood the principle. You can add your own props you want. For instance, I have, for the first ground, I have, any ground, I can add as a smart prop. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's here. A chair and a desk inside the building. Okay. A chair, a desk. You see the chairs and the desk. So the windows are not very refractive, so it's not easy to see them. If I zoom a little bit more, I'm gonna zoom directly on the window. Boom. This will be done. I'm inside the building. Sorry, I'm inside the building. Okay. So let's wait a bit. So after the render occurs, you will guess the chair and the desk, or you can select, okay, the surface, glass front, glass back. Yeah, we guess it here. Okay, we guess the table, but not the chairs that is black. And go in shaders, because there's a lot of exterior lighting, okay? And go in something very, let's try this one. Oh, it's even worse. This one. So this is very, okay, here we see the desk. And if you want to see it even more, you just lower the cutout opacity. The more you lower the cutout opacity, the more you see it. Okay. Up. And it's pretty dark inside. But yeah, you see the interior of the building. And if you set the opacity of this window and the windows above Windows 2 to 0.56, for instance, then it will converge for something cool when you can see the interior, the lights interior, and the reflection on the windows. So let's let's wait just a bit. Thank you for your attention. You can contact me if you have questions, remarks, feedback. You can contact me directly on DAS forums via private message or on the post on the forum dedicated to this project. Thank you very much.